So, Aurus from Conversation Guru, let me ask you a question.
Okay, go right ahead.
What are some common manifestations of people's insecurities? Like, what are some ways that people's insecurities show through their actions or things that they say?
You know, oh man, that's a great question. So, obviously, there's a whole ton of insecurities that men and women, they might show in different occasions or different situations. But let me start off with the men first. I know they always say women first, but this time, let's start with the men first. So, always, I'm gonna give two insecurities, one for men and one for women. And I want to talk about this because when you're at that networking event or the job interview or you're like in this group or you're meeting someone, you can look out for these insecurities, and now you can have in your mind, most likely this person is suffering from this insecurity. The question is why? What happened in their past? What are they thinking? Why do they have this insecurity? Or who is this person? That's the most important thing. Who is this person? Once you learn that, you can learn more about the insecurities and maybe even help them out if you decide to do that. But right now it's all about, like you said, I want to tell you guys about this. So, for men, I've noticed this. About a week ago, I went to like this event, and there was a guy that I just met. He seemed like a nice guy, but when I went to give him a handshake, this guy almost crushed my hand. I felt almost every bone, my carpal bones in my hand, crush and disintegrate. That's how strong it was. It's a very strong guy, right? Now, he's not the first guy that I've seen this, where you go give a handshake and the guy has to give you like a super strong handshake. And like, in the beginning when I first realized it, like, it would get me angry, like, what is this guy trying to do or trying to prove, right? Maybe you have seen that yourself, you've met a guy and he has this extremely strong handshake. Because there's a difference between a firm handshake and a very strong, like, bone-crushing handshake. There is a difference. And I always try to give a firm one, right? But a lot of times when you see a man that has to give this type of handshake, right, is because he's insecure and he has to prove his masculinity. That's simple. Now, I'm not saying every single person's like this, but most men who do this, they're trying to prove their masculinity with other men. Because this man will not do this to other women. And if he does, then I don't know what's the problem. I don't know why he's trying to prove to women that he's stronger. I don't know what's going on in his mind mentally. But all honesty, this most of the time happens that men are trying to prove how masculine they are to other men. Now, also, of course, you have to take in consideration that maybe this person has an army background, maybe they're a plumber, so they're very strong, have strong grip strength, good forearm strength, like whatever the case is. But most of the time, this is what's happening. So if you're out there and you're meeting guys or you've met some people and they're men, you feel this, immediately this should be a red flag. Why are they acting like this with me if you're a man or a woman? So that's one of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now for the women, I've noticed that in conversation, a lot of times women say, well, I guess so, I don't know. Like, for example, like I could be in a conversation and I could say, hey, so what did you think about that new Spider-Man movie, Far From Home? And you would say,
I see what you're saying. Like,
and then the woman would say, I don't know, I guess it was okay, I'm not too sure. But you start to, I understand there's probably certain things that maybe the woman is not really too secure about or she doesn't know enough about, so you would say, I don't know. But once you start hearing this 2-3 times in the same conversation, maybe back to back or in dispersed, you now know that she has an insecurity. She doesn't know how to pick a side. Maybe she doesn't want to pick a side. Maybe she wants to please everybody. You can't please everyone. You can't be a people pleaser. You just can't. And a lot of times women do this because in order to be more likable in society for a woman, right? A lot of times men or other women prefer if that woman's more neutral or they're more for the crowd, right? They're following. This is all bound down to psychology, sociology. I'm not really going to go down there, but it all has roots there. So if you're in a conversation with a woman, you hear her say, I don't know, or like, I guess so, many times, she has an insecurity. She doesn't really know how to choose, and she wants to please everyone. And that's impossible to please everyone. Now, of course, there's so many other signs, but these are some huge signs that I wanted to tell you about. One's for a man, and one's for a woman. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please comment, subscribe, and like this video. And of course, till next time.